And I'm absolutely a massive believer of like, we have to have a real balance, because shutting yourself in a room for 20 years just to save enough to get a house deposit is no life for anyone. Or shutting yourself in a room for 20 years so you've got enough for retirement, again, is no life for anyone. Finding a balance, and equally as well, utilizing some of your money that you earn to reinvest into yourself, is really one of the most powerful things you can do. Because if you take an evening course, you might be on £15 an hour, for example. And let's say you take that evening course and your same company will then pay you £22 an hour. That's a 47% increase. It's very difficult to get that anywhere else ever. So, and you've then immediately, and then you've got a bigger income for the rest of your days. And if you continue to do that, you can move up the food chain. So I don't believe education stops when you leave university or you leave school. In fact, that's where you can then now choose the pathways that you start to take, and you continually upskill yourself. I've moved out of hospitality marketing into personal finance education, and that's simply because I learned everything I possibly could, and I never stopped learning. And Steve Jobs said that, and I really do believe that's a mantra for life.
With your upskilling, if someone is in a role, and obviously there are lots and lots of different variables of different industries, is someone better trying to upskill themselves to then earn more within their business or within their wherever they work? Or is it better to jump ship and go elsewhere?
Great question. I'm going to answer that in two parts. The first part is job hopping. The name of it completely escapes me right now. But anyway, job hopping, if you move jobs, so staying with one company for 30 years is great. Yeah, great. Fine. Like, very loyal. Well done. Pat on the back. No one else cares. But your salary will, because job hopping often means you can go for higher salaries. And I think it's something like 30-something%. You end up with a higher salary just by moving roles every few years. Now, when it comes to upskilling, so that's something you've got to think about. As much as your work might be a family and they, buy you pizza on a Friday, if they need to cut your role, they will. So understanding that early on is really, really important. Unfortunately, we're not nothing special. We're numbers at the end of the day, and we're there to fulfill a role. And if that role becomes redundant, then you are made redundant. And that's how that works. That's why we hear it all the time. Companies don't always perform well, and they will make you feel like everything's performing well, because that's called company culture. They've got to keep everybody happy, so you keep performing. So that's, upskilling yourself outside of that, so you become more valuable as a person. Now, you may decide that helps your role, which then allows you to then go and get better roles within the field of work that you currently ensue. Or you could look to upskill yourself, so you may have an idea knocking around in your brain, but you've gone into the work environment to try and build up your skill set, and get a little bit of like, I want to go and work for a couple of entrepreneurs. I want to work for a few businesses. So I feel like I understand business a little bit more. And while I'm doing that, I'm upskilling myself so I can eventually go and put this idea that's sticking in my head into practice and go and build a business. That's what I did. I worked in marketing. I worked right up from marketing exec to marketing director. I knew the whole food chain. And then all of the time outside of that, I was learning about personal finance, learning about business, learning about entrepreneurship. So when I did take the plunge, I was ready. And I feel like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, young people. The average successful CEO is 47, and the average successful business founder is 52. So if you're sitting there and you're 23, 24 listening to this, don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Often going and working for an entrepreneur in a small startup, if that's what you want to do, if you want to start a business, go and work for someone where you're touching every point of the business. Because often in these small companies that are like 10 people or less, you're doing so many different things. You're not always doing like the role that was set out for you. You're often helping out. You're going to help out the events team while they run their event because they need an extra pair of hands. You learn how to run an event. And these are all skills that you would never have picked up otherwise. So yeah, don't put so much pressure on yourself at a young age, but do think about things like job hopping and company loyalty, because your HR team, they may say that they care about you, but they care about the company pockets at the end of the day.